Welcome to the Golden Gaze podcast. Single, gay life, over 60, unscripted. Hello, I'm Larry.
And I'm Rob.
Hopefully you saw our first episode. That was last week. This will be our second episode. If you did, where we kind of left off, Rob was talking about shapewear a little bit. And that got me thinking about, I know I have image problems, mostly because I keep getting fat and then I lose some weight and I keep getting even fatter than I was before. And I know that that's kind of a struggle, but you know what? I really like to eat.
Oh, that's a problem. I think in the gay world, body image is, it's not an exclusive problem only for gay men, but I think it's much more common with gay men because gay men tend to be very visual. And if you ever notice that when they're advertising for a gay event, a circuit party, or a bar, it's always some smooth, young, beautiful young man, muscle man. They don't usually show older men that are overweight. So, it's not, I think it's very common to have body image issues in the gay community. I'm sure that in the straight community as well. I think that people overall, probably many men have some body issues.
Yeah.
But I do think maybe in the gay world, maybe it's a little more common.
Well, yeah, and I think there's, I don't know, the image on what you're supposed to look like. You're supposed to be young. You're supposed to have muscles. And depending who you ask, you're supposed to be hairy. You're supposed to not have hair. You don't even know. And it's like, I would like to look better. I really would. I look in the mirror and I'll get ready to. Maybe that's the reason I dress so sloppy when I'm so fat, is because I don't care. There's nothing I can do where I'm going to look in the mirror and say, hey, I like what I see. I probably need some sort of therapy for this, I guess. But it comes down to it. I really enjoy the taste of food, and I like to eat.
That's kind of normal. We were talking about this because the camera just put on 20 pounds. Really, we're really not this fat. Honest to God, I saw the video, just a few minutes of it, and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I'm that big. And I've lost 50-something. I've lost 60 pounds. So, and I don't think I'm not overweight. I have a 36 waist, but I look gigantic. But at any rate,
well, I thought I looked like Jabba the Hutt.
I can't believe it. It's true that
the poo emoji.
The camera does add.
So I'm experimenting with camera angles and getting the camera farther back, moving the chairs back. So this will be a work in progress because we do want to look better on camera, or at least not look worse on camera.
So today I do have on some touching the mic. I have on a shapewear shirt that I bought from Amazon. Now this is the cheaper version of the shapewear. They get very expensive. This was the low end. I think it was like $24 or something cheap. And it's like an odd brand. It's like LGY something or other. But at any rate, I couldn't put it on. I was going to put it on camera, but in this particular one, you have to step into it. It's that tight. So I'm gonna show it what it looks like though, without just show it. I'm not going to take it off though because it's like impossible to. It really is embarrassing to take off.
So are you going to stand up?
It's like a sausage. You know those sausages that explode when you. Oh, really? But it's not. It's sort of.
Can you breathe?
Oh, absolutely, you can breathe, but getting it on and off is rather. It's very comfortable.
Well, I know. Like if I go and if I wear tighter pants or tighter jeans, when I sit down, it's like.
Yeah, it's really it's tight.
Terrible.
So anyway, I'll show you what. How's that? It does smooth you out quite a bit, and underneath, it's black. It's tight. It's not as tight as probably some of the more expensive ones, I don't think. And the problem with this one is it rolls up on the bottom, so you got to kind of pull it down, and so it does kind of roll up a little bit. But if you can see, it does flatten you out quite a bit. It does. And the issue I have, and I'm sure that many men my age have, man boobs. I hate that. I hate that expression. But let's just say my chest is not as firm as maybe it should be. So if I don't have this on, I don't look quite as good. But this holds you up and keeps you very smooth. As you can see, you can see it really does hold you in quite a bit. You lose probably about, I bet it reduces you about 3 inches in your waist, honestly.
Wow.
Because I had to cinch my belt tighter and just slip it a little bit because it's that much. But the issue I have too, though, if somebody touches you, I know how often people touch you. Well, believe it or not, that'll be, you'll wear this and there'll be somebody that come up that'll touch you. And then you can, I think they can tell you have it on.
Well, I know when we're out at clubs and someone comes up and hugs us, like, you know, they
You can
always
tell
do.
they have it on.
I can tell that they're wearing something that's
It
like
is.
a girdle.
I mean, I'll show you what it looks like underneath without the shirt. I mean, I don't really care at this point. But I mean, it's tight. Can you see it? It's very tight. What you got to be careful of is under the arm part. Is that's I hate to say what I guess a woman would call it side boob. I don't think we call it that, but at any rate, it's sort of like it pushes you all up as you're putting it on, so you got to push it all back in.
Okay.
It's like a kind of a sardine thing going on. So anyway, that's my shapewear, and I know I'm not the only one that's wearing shapewear, and I know I'm not the only one that has body issues at my age. So I'm sure that we would probably, if we ask many men at our age, they probably have similar issues. I can't take this off on camera because it really is embarrassing. It's just like an explosion afterwards.
What? If you want to take it off,
No, I don't.
I can just cut that part out.
No, why would I want to take? Well, if I was going to take it off, I would do it specifically for the camera so they could see what it's like. But I don't want to. I'm kind of. I don't think I really want. It's that tight. I mean, it's like an explosion, sort of like. I said sausage. You know what? This is what it's really like. This is going to. You might want to cut this out. I don't know. It's like a man who's not circumcised. And you know what's very, very tight?
Well, I'm not circumcised, and mine's not tight.
Okay,
So.
well, some
are, yeah.
And it's sort of like that. You're pulling your head out of that thing, and it probably just pops right out. It pops out. Because it's that tight. This thing is really tight.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't stand that.
It is. It's tight. Getting it off is very, very tight. When it's on, it's not so bad. And I think it does make you feel, I don't know, pulls you all together.
Okay.
So excuse me.
In your experience with 2,000 people or however many your number is, how many uncut men have you been with? Is it about half? I mean, because you're talking when you're talking about the uncut penis, how it's tight and all of a sudden it pops out. Well, that's not my experience being an uncut man or the uncut men that I've been with. I have seen some that are tight like that, but to me, that's a rarity. So I'm wondering if in your experience,
probably a rarity, but I have seen it.
Okay, but it's not like most of the ones you've seen.
It looked painful.
Yeah, I would think so.
It looked painful. Yeah, that might be a little personal information, but I mean,
well, some people are circumcised, some are not, and if you're gay, you're going to see more of them up close and personal.
Probably true. That's probably
I don't know. I don't know what the statistics are. I know in the United States there are more people that are circumcised. I know if you're in the UK, most people are not.
We lost track of what we were talking about.
Well, we were talking
not the uncircumcised part. We're talking about body image.
Okay.
Did you ever notice? No, this is sort of goes along with it. But have you ever noticed that when they talk about the gay community, and if they're homophobes and they're talking negatively about the gay community, they will always show pictures of gay men kissing, holding hands. They don't show pictures of gay women. And they'll say things like, look at those men holding hands, how disgusting that is. They're kissing, but they don't show women. And here's my...
I know. I have an idea.
I have an idea, too, and this is what it is.
They like it.
I think that because I think a heterosexual male fantasizes about two women being together or being with two women at the same time,
and they like watching it.
And if the two women are together sexually, it's not a problem. But never would it be two men. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's my opinion on that. Here's what I think. This is a little deep. I think it's because we live in a very patriarchal society. Think about when you're a little kid and you fall down and they say, "Get up! Don't cry like a baby. Quit being a sissy. Don't cry like a little girl." Because anything that is feminine or related to female is less than.
Maybe. I think it's much more simple than that. I think that they don't mind seeing women kissing or something because it arouses them. And if they see two men, it's gross to them.
But have you ever noticed, though, that whenever they say anything negative and they flash something on the screen about the gay community, it's always men.
Oh, yeah.
They'll never show two women.
I know for myself, I am initially drawn to people by what I see.
Of course, yeah.
And the type that I am most drawn to, I know it's a visual type. But I do know that once I'm with someone, let's say I'm dating someone a couple times, it very quickly moves beyond that for me. I need to have the emotional and the intellectual stimulation and connection as well.
But you have to have, I think the initial attraction has to be there. I think that you have to have some kind of physical attraction to somebody.
Well, yeah,
before you can move on to develop any kind of other kind of a relationship.
Well,
look any further.
I think for me. Important. So I wonder if that's true for women. Do women have to have a visual connection first before they can develop, or can their connection just be?
I don't know.
Can their connection just be the intellectual and the emotional and what they're feeling more than what they're seeing first? And and then maybe does the mind come first and then what they see? And it's just I really like what I'm seeing. I don't know.
I think that men are very visual, and I think gay men. I mean, I know as a certain type of man that I would look at, and I know the type of man that you look at, and they're very different. Men usually, once in a while, we have
we have a crossover sometimes, but not usually.
But overall, not, because I like more of a blue collar looking man, very very masculine look. Don't send me messages and say, "Well, you're not masculine." I don't want to hear about it. My opinion is, I mean, this is what I like.
That's what you're drawn to.
I mean, I'm drawn to men that are masculine. I'm just not really attracted to men that are I just on more feminine. It's just not. Larry, on the other hand, tends to be attracted to men that are a little more
a little feminine,
a little bit on the feminine side,
and nerdy and preppy. I don't know if we use the word preppy anymore, but I remember in the 80s and 90s, the men that dressed preppy. It was like, yeah, I like that. I like that look, and the nerdy, the intellectual, and a little femme works for me.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me at all. I would prefer to be
that's good.
A lumberjack kind of looking guy.
Yeah, and
I would shirt.
Yeah, that wouldn't do it for me.
Shirt.
Well, that's a good thing. It's a good thing we're friends and we're great, because we'll never fight over the same person because we don't like the same person.
No, typically.
Or we may like the same person as far as friends, but being drawn to someone, want to date someone, we would never cross.
I mean, I'm typically not attracted to that young, smooth look either. I mean, that doesn't do it for me at all. But I mean, it seems to be very common, very popular in the gay community, that look.
Yeah, to me, I hate to say this, but to me, when they look so young and so smooth, I almost feel like it would be pedophiliac, is that the right word? Yes. In order to be chasing after that look for me. That would be creepy to me. I also
don't like the expression daddy. Because to me, I understand that in the gay community, the word daddy does not have the same connotation as it does in my world. I mean, I have children. To me, it is very incestuous. I do not want somebody to call me daddy.
No,
they call me daddy, but it's an age thing. It has nothing to do with being a daddy. I mean, it's nothing like that at all. But I just don't care for it at all.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, especially if the person doing it is young. Then it feels creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy.
But I'm going to be 64 on my coming birthday, and it's like, and if I'm out with someone who's 65 or 66, and they say, "Hey, daddy," and they do it in that way, that's different.
That's all right.
That's
some young
different.
person. I was at Torchy's, and the waiter called me Pappy.
I don't like daddy. I know you don't like being called boss. I know that really.
No, I hate that at a restaurant. I a pet peeve of mine when they call me boss. It just really agitates the hell out of me. I don't know what it is, but it just really does. And one kid at Saltgrass called me boss, and I was by myself that night. And I said I asked him his name, and I said, this is not going to affect your tip or anything. I'm not going to complain, but I want you to know that that's very, very disrespectful to call somebody who's much older than you by these pet names like boss, captain, buddy, brother. It's inappropriate. I mean, I was raised, I still call people sir and ma'am, even when they're younger than me. And until I know them, when they come into my office, I call them Mr. Smith until they call me Rob, and then I call them whatever their first name is. I don't think you should just be so familiar with people. And to call me boss, it's very condescending, very disrespectful.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
especially in restaurants and stuff where you
It's
have
very common in restaurants.
yeah, for wait staff, yeah,
Young men.
And they're probably just trying to be friendly
They
and
are.
nice, but it to me it doesn't work.
I don't like it at all.
No, I don't either.
I don't. So I mean that
You know, are there our listeners? I'll put a question out for you here. When you're out, and I'm speaking to our male listeners, I guess there would be an equivalent for ladies, but
mama. They call them mama now. That's very common, mama.
now, well, I know in the Latin community.
Yeah, but that's gone beyond the Latin community now.
Yeah.
This is somebody the other day, and there was a white guy calling somebody mama. And she said, "I'm not your mama. I'm younger than you." I mean, Liz, my daughter, told me they call her mama at the hospital. Hispanics.
Yeah. Okay, all right, and that's called. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about if you're out and let's say wait staff and servers at a restaurant or whatever, or at a shoe store or something, and they call you. Let me get that for you, boss, or something along those things. What do you think of that? Do you completely disagree with us on that? And we just happen to be
maybe I'm just picky.
Two men who really don't like that, or and maybe that's not a big thing. And I'm also wondering, is that not cultural, but what's the word where it's regional? Is that regional something in the South? I know I was born in Texas, but my family moved me away from Texas while I was a baby to California. And so I didn't grow up in the Texas culture. So maybe it's regional. Did anyone ever do that to you when you were in New York?
No, because I was younger though too. I mean, I think it has something to do with age.
Yeah, maybe. And I'm trying to think in other places where I've gone. When I lived in the Rio Grande Valley, no one did that. Even a couple last year when I was down there for a visit, people don't do that to me. Or in San Antonio, people do that. Maybe it's regional.
That could be.
It could be.
So back to body image. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, body image.
So. What do you think about men that shave their bodies?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Well, you know I don't like it because I don't like men that are smooth at all. Even though I'm not hairy, but I prefer men that are hairy. So
yeah, and since I am hairy, I'm not my own type. So I don't like a real hairy man, but I guess what I like is I like the natural. Mm-hmm. Now, I have been with people that they shave everything, and it's prickly and it's uncomfortable.
I think it's disgusting.
I mean,
I'm sorry, it just turns me off.
Well, you don't want to hug them because it's like hugging a porcupine.
I don't like it at all. It really is.
Yeah, I prefer people to be naturally how they are. Yeah. Of course, I'm trying to think, how natural am I? I've got some highlights.
Yeah, I'm just, but it seems to be very common, although I do think that it's coming back, though, more, all of a sudden now everybody has beards and mustaches, like it used to be in the 70s.
Yeah.
Gay men had them. Then for the longest time, it was no beards, no mustaches. And now it's all come back and everybody has a beard and mustache.
Yeah, I think it's connected to the whole idea of you need to be as young as possible.
Yeah.
And so if you shave off all the hair, then you look younger. Or the thought is if you shave the hair, the muscle tone will show, and maybe it does, and maybe it doesn't. But a likely now I don't mind someone, hair on my chest grows so that it actually will push out a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind like using a number 2 guard and keeping it shorter without it being prickly. Right. No, I don't mind that.
I especially don't like men that shave their lower extremities. I think it's disgusting. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
Like their legs or their
groin area. Don't like it. I think it's disgusting. I don't know why, but I just do. It just really repulses me. It's not a strong word. Yeah, that's a strong word, but it really repulses me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. It just does. I mean, I just don't like it one bit.
Well, I don't like a big old wild free bush.
No, I like men that are natural. Again.
Yeah.
So, what else are we going to talk about? Body image.
Well, I don't know. There's so much that's connected, between, you need to have some muscle tone. But if you get a certain age, there's even if you have muscle tone, you get so much loose skin, you really can't see it. or it gets crepey and it looks like crinkled up crepe paper.
Right. Yeah, I've got some of that on the lower part of my arm. I mean, I think that's inevitable.
Yeah.
That'll come up.
We're a men of a certain age. See, in some of this, I won't have to cut because I'm talking about cutting.
Right.
But men of a certain age, I found that we
kind of ramble.
Well, we don't move as much. So if I do a hard cut in the video and then find another place and cut it, and then I look to see, sometimes you can't even tell that we didn't move enough that you could tell that I cut it.
Gotcha. All right. So we're going to another a different topic here. I was at the Galleria, and I was in Macy's, and there was a gay couple in front of me, and it was an older black man and a younger white man. So that would make them a homosexual, interracial couple. So, but they were holding hands, which I thought was rather.
Galleria Macy's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
that wouldn't surprise me.
I'm being nosy that I am. I decided I was going to follow them around and see. They didn't see me. So, but they were in like the polo section. So I don't think that they're going to get a negative response, because a lot of the men in the polo section looking at the pastel colored shirts probably might not care. Mm-hmm. But in the Macy's, in the men's department, they didn't have hardly anybody even noticed them. And they were obviously a gay couple, and they were very affectionate, and they were holding hands. So then they decided to walk out into the Galleria. Well, I had to see what was going to go on. So I followed them out into the Galleria. They didn't see me. And they didn't, surprisingly, they had very little blowback from that. I mean, I didn't notice that many people even noticed. But I think that's because that was probably the Galleria. Now, I'd love to see that experiment happen in somewhere else, like Katie Mills.
Yeah, well, well, you remember when I lived in Nacogdoches?
Oh, yeah.
And they had a little bitty mall there that, like, maybe if it had 12 stores, that would be something. And I was there walking the mall one time, and there were
really?
Probably college students, two young men that were walking, holding hands.
That's a lot.
I just smiled.
I would think that would be a lot for that area.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But college towns tend to be a little better. Although
I don't think I would ever do that, though. I'm not. I don't think I would do that.
I'm trying to think if I've ever walked holding hands.
First of all, I'm not a hand holder anyway. I'm just not.
Yeah.
So I really doubt that I would be holding hands in the first place. In the second place, I think you have to be aware of your surroundings, and I don't think it's a good idea sometimes to
maybe not
to be holding hands out in public, depending on where you are. I mean, safety is an important issue, and in today's society,
I don't think I've ever been out walking in public in an unknown place I wasn't sure of, holding hands. I'm continuing to evolve, I guess. I don't know, the people that greet me with a kiss have always greeted me with a kiss, so it'd almost be weird if they didn't do it now.
Right.
But I'm talking about maybe 3 people that are still in my circle that do that, and it doesn't bother me.
No, that wouldn't be for me.
And I would miss it if they stopped at this point.
So, an entirely different subject. What do you think with gay men, that they have to have titles of being top or bottom?
I hate it. Nobody should know. And I've been around where people, and they would ask, like when I'd be dating someone new, and they would ask me about, making assumptions about who's the top and who's the bottom.
You can't make that assumption at all.
You can't make that assumption. And I'm pretty forceful right away and said, that's not a conversation we should have. No one should know who is a top or a bottom unless you're in a relationship with that person or you're talking to your medical doctor about an issue. That's not a conversation.
But do you even
what I do in bed with someone should be no one's business except who I'm in bed with.
Do you even think that has to be a part of a gay relationship at all? Anal and intercourse.
Oh, does
that have to be part of a relationship? Anal intercourse.
No.
What do you think the percentage of men as couples who do not engage in anal sex?
Well, if we believe the hype and all the media, 2%, but I'm thinking it's probably 20%.
Is that what they say, 2%?
Well, no, I'm just guessing. Based on what you see, I mean, everybody's, you know, if you're talking about gay sex, even the straight people that are trying to attack us, they're only thinking about anal intercourse.
Right,
And
right,
it's like, well, to me, the blessings of being a gay man is that there is a long menu of things that two same-sex people
Yeah, I don't
might.
think that
Yeah.
that anal sex is the end all of gay sex. I mean, I really don't. I think
No,
you
and
could be in a
especially if you're talking about
relationship
men over 60.
and not have gay sex, not have anal intercourse at all. Because personally, and I've said this before, with people I know, I just don't think that anal sex. I'm going to get a lot of blowback on this one. Anal sex is the best. More I can't get it out. Is any fun?
Well,
I just don't. I don't think that it was meant. I don't think that that particular area was maybe meant for that. I'm going to get a lot of negative.
Well,
stuff on
and
this.
I don't. Apparently, there can be pleasure um, in in that, either the receiving or of the giving, whether you're the top in that activity or the bottom. I will say I do not enjoy playing one of those roles, and I have no intention of ever attempting that again.
Yeah.
And the other role where I enjoy playing that role, I'm fine never doing it.
Yeah, I could pass on it.
There are a lot of things that I enjoy far more, that are, to me, are far more intimate and far more loving.
If I wanted to have intercourse, I'd rather be with a woman than a man. Really.
Okay.
I just don't think it's. I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of dates from this.
Well, no, I mean, well, and that's, I mean, really, if we're talking about sexuality is very diverse, and you can't just say you're a gay man and then now we know what everybody wants.
They have new expressions now, sides.
Yeah.
Aside. So.
Yeah, I don't like that either, but I guess I mean.
But you know, the gay community is guilty as the straight community, because again, if you go to a drag show, you will notice sometimes that the drag queens will make jokes or go to a table and they'll say, "Ha ha, we know who the bottom is."
Yeah, I don't like that.
And the reason why, when they say it, the connotation is the bottom is less than the top.
Yeah.
Again, back to the masculine, feminine roles. And the straight world thinks that there has to be a masculine role and a feminine role in bed when there's two men together.
Yeah.
And that's not the case, because my opinion is there's more masculine energy with two men together in bed than, you know, even a man and a woman. I mean, there doesn't have to be any feminine energy in a bed with two men at all. I mean, that's part of the whole thing about wanting to be with men, is I want to be with a man and not.
Yeah, I hate, you know, and even in the videos, and this says, well, who's the man in the relationship?
Right.
Even in the Golden Girls episode, remember when Rose didn't realize that.
Well, what was her? Yeah, that
she was setting up Blanche and Dorothy were on this TV show as lesbians.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them says,
"Who's the man?"
Well, who's the man?
Well,
why'd you take out the trash?
Right. So yeah, but I think the straight world believes that there is a role.
Yeah, there's a man.
Or the other.
Well, it kind of goes back even to the biblical scripture that they use against gays.
Right.
It's abomination, which is 16th century, 17th century English, which we don't use, but it's an abomination if a man lies with another man as if he's a woman. And to me, it's like, well, if it's two men in bed, there isn't a woman.
Right.
And if he's lying with the man as if it's a woman, frankly, he's doing it wrong, because that's not what it's about.
Well, to be fair, there are men. I mean, I have to go back and say there are men that are with other men, and maybe there is a feminine role. I mean, that's possible.
Are they, or is it they're feminine?
No, I mean feminine, physically feminine, where they're looking for a man who is looks more effeminate, more effeminate.
Yeah, are they wearing stockings and
Well, that
nighties and
could
things
be.
like that? Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So maybe there
Yeah,
is that.
well, maybe
there is that faction, but overall,
I would
don't
say,
think,
yeah, for mostly, no,
I don't think
that's
that.
not.
No, I don't believe that.
There's not a man and a woman.
No.
That's
Which
not
makes
the point.
which makes gay relationships so a little more difficult because the roles are not as easily defined. So you almost don't know how to act sometimes in a relationship. You know what I mean? It's hard to say. The men that
The
I
other
am
one?
attracted to are not the men that I would prefer to be with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And let me tell you why. Because I like men that are very masculine, you know, that are into maybe typically masculine endeavors.
Mhm.
But I want him to go to the thrift store with me, go thrifting, and he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He's not going to want to stop, go to little towns, and walk through the antique shops. So I have a certain incongruity between the two of them. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean
Because
because
I'm attracted to a certain type of man. And you know the man I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to bring anybody's name in. But the man that I was very attracted to was very much a man's say man's man, but he was a man's man. Racing cars, guns, rifles, hunting, all that stuff. But no way was that person going to go to an antique store with me.
yeah.
But I'm attracted to that type of person, but that's not probably the best person maybe for me on,
Yeah, I think
on the days that you're not in the bed.
well, and it's probably difficult to find someone who
Yeah, that's like that.
who checks all the boxes. I know I have found that the people that are my friends that I really enjoy spending time with, there's not any attraction to do the other stuff.
Right.
It's just kind of like that's. I just couldn't even imagine that.
But I'm attracted to that type of man, though, and typically
But then they don't want to do all the stuff
they
you
don't
want
want
to
to do
do.
stuff. And a lot of times, maybe they're, you know, I don't know, married. That's such sad truth. I mean, really, that's unfortunate. But I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're dating someone who's married,
well, I'm not
if
dating anybody.
if you're
married.
dating someone who's well, it's not really dating, but
Right.
if you're fooling around with someone who's married to a woman, they're not there for any of the stuff. They're not wanting a relationship.
No.
They have that.
I don't have any, you know, men who. I know there's many men that I know that were with men when they were married. I mean, I'm aware of that. But I have a hard time with a man when you're married. You've made a commitment. This is going to sound so sappy, but you've made a commitment, and if you can break that bond, then you could break the bond with someone else. It's like someone who
Possibly.
it's like a man who's having an affair with another man and the man is married and tells the man he's having an affair with that he's not with anybody else. Do you believe that person? Can you believe that person who's cheating on their wife is being faithful to you? Please.
It's possible, but you couldn't.
The explanation would be
it's unlikely.
The explanation would be, oh, it's because it's a man. It's a whole different story. I'm not cheating on my wife. I'm with a man. It's a whole different thing. It's cheating.
Well, yeah, it's cheating.
And I don't believe in cheating. I mean, I'm just not. That's just not in my DNA. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I don't hate to say it. It's just really not in my DNA. I mean, I have been with a married man. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you have too. I mean, it's just not that unusual to be. But that leads to a whole nother question. If you're with a man who's married, does that make you an adulterer?
Yes.
No.
I think it does.
Why? You're not married.
Because you're sleeping with someone who's married to someone else.
But you're not committing adultery. What is the definition of adultery?
Well, biblically.
Yeah, okay, biblically.
Biblically, you commit adultery if you are sleeping with the wife of another Jewish man.
I don't like that one. So let's go on. Let's go with the more common definition. What do you think the definition is in regular old?
I think adultery is having an affair, whether you're married or the person you're with is married.
I don't know. I'm going to look in the dictionary. I bet the dictionary doesn't define it that way.
Well, let's ask my Alexa device.
Ask Alexa.
Ziggy, what's the definition of adultery?
Adultery is sexual intercourse between a married person and another individual who isn't their spouse.
Okay, but ask what is the definition of an adulterer? We know what adultery
An
is.
adulterer is a person who commits adultery, meaning a married individual who has sexual relations with someone who isn't their spouse.
Bingo. You're not an adulterer if you're not married.
So is the person who is sleeping with someone who's married, are they an adulterer as well?
You're right. You aren't an adulterer because adultery only applies to the married person.
Thank you.
If the other partner isn't married, they'd
You're not
be charged
adulterer.
with fornication rather than adultery.
So you're well, we're all fornicators. So I mean, that's not.
So okay.
So
well,
you're not an adulterer.
That would be the. Thank you, Ziggy. If you don't tell him thank you, he keeps joining your conversation.
So my theory is correct. If you are with a married man, you're not committing adultery. They're committing adultery, but you're not. That's my opinion. I'm sorry.
You're committing fornication.
But you're committing fornication, but it also still is not right. I mean, I agree it's not right, but I'm not married.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel that obligation, that responsibility or obligation, I just don't, I don't want to say it doesn't bother me, but well, it's not my business. Is that wrong to say? It's none of my business?
I don't know. I don't want to delve into theology, but I mean, you know me and everything that I do, I have a lot of that. And so I look theologically and what I teach to people, and what I share with people is that, what is sin for me may not be sin for you.
Yeah,
and I can't.
Where does it say it's a sin?
I can't. Well, I'm getting there.
All right.
And so for something that I think would be wrong for me, I can't go up to you and tell you that's wrong, because that's what's wrong with these organizations that claim to be the Christian church today, is because they're doing that which they should not do. So for me, if I was fooling around with a man who is married, whether they're married to a man or married to a woman, I wouldn't technically be the cheater. So basically, by that definition, I would not be the adulterer. But in my mind,
you're committing something.
I would feel like that I was a participant in that adultery.
Well, you are.
And for me, that would be a problem. Now, so
does that make it a sin? I mean, we're talking about a whole different thing. Whether you feel responsible that you're contributing to the adultery, is that a sin? Is it really a sin?
For me, I think it would be.
You think it's a sin?
Yeah. But it's not my job to go and tell people that.
Right. I don't know why. You would think that I would think it was a sin, but I don't seem to think that way, I guess. Okay. I don't know why, because I'm not a cheater. But again, I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. Yeah. I'm not the cheater. But I wouldn't trust the cheater for
anything.
For one split second, because any man that can cheat on, whether it's a spouse or a female or a male, that can cheat on you.
And you're open to a whole list of things you might catch from wherever they've been.
Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe under certain circumstances, like with men that are married to women and then they're with a man and there's whole kinds of sexuality issues going on. Maybe it's different. Maybe they wouldn't be cheating on their wife with another woman. Maybe they justify that in their mind. I think that they do justify in their mind that they're not cheating.
Because they're not sleeping with another woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. I don't cheat on my wife. I mean, it sounds ridiculous when you think about it, but I've heard that before.
Yeah, yeah. And
I don't argue with it.
Well, no, because really it's not really our business, because we're not them and we're not their God. So it's
right.
And that's where the problem is I have with our whole world, is we have so many people that think it's their business to tell other people that they're doing something wrong, and it just absolutely is not.
How about men that just popped in my head, who tell you that they're not, who are with you and tell you they're not gay? I love that one.
There,
My opinion of that is I will never challenge that because it's not. You don't ever want to put somebody into a homosexual panic. It's really what it is.
well, I would. Well, first off, I'm between LGBTQIA plus and all of the other.
There's a lot of it.
However, someone identifies their sexuality. Like, I'm not going to tell you, hey, Rob, you're gay. You're not bisexual. That's not my job to do that. And I do know that there are men who are with men
who don't consider themselves
who
gay.
don't think they're gay because of the activities they do. Now,
I'm aware of what you're going to say. If they're a receiver, but look, here's what my opinion on that. When they say, I hear men say, well, you know, I'm just highly sexed. And what I want to say is, if you're highly sexed, that's understandable. But why are you not looking for a woman? Why are you looking for a man then? Come on now. I don't believe that they're straight.
Yeah.
But I find it very questionable, a man on Grindr looking for other men when they're married and saying they're not gay.
In my mind, yeah, they're gay and they haven't accepted it, but it's not my job to go up and tell them.
No, I would never say that because really, I think it's dangerous. Yeah. I think you could really. I remember my mother had a book, Dr. Spock's book. Mm-hmm. Dr. Spock. Mm-hmm. And one day I got it out of the closet. It was the funniest thing. And there was a chapter on homosexuality. And the first thing it said, I'll never forget this. It said, they will give themselves away because you can always tell when a man is a homosexual because they'll pass each other on the street and they turn around and linger and look at their crotch. They said that they'll turn around and they'll always look. They pass each other and then they turn around and look. And I thought, wow. That's really something. But there was a chapter on homosexual panic, that men that are faced with homosexuality panic, and they can send them into God only knows what. I mean,
basically, a man who engages in sexual activity with other men, minimally are bisexual.
I would say,
and they're bisexual or gay, and for whatever reason, they cannot allow themselves to accept that. I know gay men, and you know who I'm talking about, who are gay. They're out and gay, but they still believe being gay is worse than not being gay, and they're not fully accepting of themselves.
Yeah, I never had that issue. You know, this has never been an issue in my life, honestly. Even when I knew at an early age that I was attracted to men as well as women, I never had any guilt. I just thought it was just something in the back of my mind. I never had an issue. You know, it was not an issue. It just never came up until after I was divorced and I decided to explore that side of me. Otherwise, it would have probably laid dormant, you know, for. Yeah. I mean, I never had any guilt. I have never had any guilt about being attracted or being with men. Never.
See, and I had tons. I had enough guilt for both of
church.
It. Yeah, mine was all religious background.
It usually is religion.
Religious brainwashing, really, because the things that I was taught as truth that weren't truths, and that was the issue. But I had 8 long years of pretty serious depression during that period of when I got to the place where I had to admit to myself, yeah, you're really gay. And that happened when I was about 35. And it wasn't until I was 43 that I was able to work beyond all the garbage from the church.
Right.
That's not of God. That's garbage from people and theology and things that were wrong. But I tell you what, when I was delivered from my guilt at 43, but I started coming out to people when I was 35.
You know, it's funny
because I knew I was gay.
I can't identify. I wasn't happy. I just not had it. I don't understand. I have a hard time understanding all the guilt that people have, and I know it's from religion, but I just never had it. So it's very difficult for me when people say that they have a lot of guilt or they have a hard time accepting it. I'm just like, get with it. You gay?
Well, I did, but I had a very difficult, dark period of my life between being 35 and 43.
Right.
At 35, yeah, I am gay. There's nothing I can do about it.
But now you don't have any guilt. I have an
No.
I am what I am.
No,
philosophy.
I don't have any guilt over being gay. And I'm to the place now that I like being gay. At this point,
yeah.
I would not want to not be
if
gay.
I could, if, you know,
There were times if they had a magic pill you could
talked
take
about the
this,
pill.
I would take it. I wouldn't
I talked
today.
to
I
friends
like who I
about the
am.
pill, and some friends have said they take the pill.
Still,
Yeah,
I wouldn't now. No.
I think that I think there's probably quite a few people who are very that are gay that have a lot of guilt, and it's from religion and their upbringing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, if they came to me and said, you take this pill, you won't be gay anymore, I said, I don't want it.
What do you think? This is kind of rambling on, but what do you think if there was a button that someone could press to wipe out the gay community entirely, pressing a button, bam. Remember that old Twilight Zone thing where they said you get like $10,000, you don't have to push a button, somebody's going to die in the world and you're not going to know who it was. Did you ever see that one? And see how many people pushed the button. I think that many people would push the button.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
I think so. And I think that unfortunately they might be family members of a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
And people that sit down with you that supposedly support you, I don't know that they would not press the button as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's many people who would press the button, especially now more than a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. And
because now there's it's more permissible to be a homophobe. So, I mean, I would think
I think probably more than 50% of people would press the button.
I think substantially more than 50%.
Yeah.
Let's say that you're in a country and they've decided that they're going to put all gays in a camp. How many people do you think would go along with that in the population? What do you think the percentage would be?
Probably 30%.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
Oh, no.
I think it's more. I hate to say it. Don't forget that the country is huge. Most people don't live in the cities. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who live out there.
Yeah.
And those people, maybe I'm stereotyping them, but I think in the city, maybe they might not. Maybe they're a little more open-minded and they're used to diversity. But when you get mom, pa, kettle out in the country somewhere, I don't know. They might say that would be okay. I don't know. And I think a lot of the church members would probably go along with that too. I think there's many churches that probably would. I'll bet it's more like...
Well, there are church members that are okay with rounding up Hispanic people, even ones that are born here, and putting them in a camp.
I'm going to say 40%. 40% of people would go along with it or not do anything about it. I realize now how it happened in Nazi Germany.
We see
I can see why it could happen.
Oh, yeah.
I can see how a group could come in and focus on certain topics and bring a bunch of people together, and they start all thinking alike. And I could see how it could happen. And it's what I find that.
Yeah, I used to say, how in the world did this ever happen?
I said it could never happen again. But I could believe. I'm not saying it's going to happen now. I'm not saying that at all. But I said it could happen.
Well, parallel things have happened.
But it could happen in the future. It could happen in other countries. It could happen. It could definitely happen. I really do believe that it's not impossible anymore for that to happen after what I witness now. Even I mean, it's small. I'm not saying that they're Nazis, but I'm just saying there are some parallels.
Absolutely, there are.
There's no, and you can't deny those parallels at all. I mean, they have
not if your head's not if you're behind.
They have certain tactics that they've used and that have been very successful for the Nazis, and they've used them sort of again. So, I mean, it's kind of scary.
As a gay man, and you met me about the time I was 43. I think 43 is when you met me, which it's been 20 years now. And that's when I let go of all the guilt, and I ended that 8 years. And you've heard me over the years having issue with the lack of opportunity that I feel as a gay man, having enough social interactions and connections without just going and sitting on a bar stool. It's not like, oh, I need more friends, but I kind of would like to have more connections with people. I
But
guess.
you could go to church. Well, maybe a church. Maybe the church would be. I say that, but I'm not. I don't know. I've never met anybody at church that I'm just not that social. So.
Well, and I have a lot of friends at church, but pretty much if I hang out with people at church, it's because I organized and I planned it. It's like, I would love from my phone someone just go, hey, we're going to here to dinner. You want to join us?
Right.
That would be great. I don't get those calls.
Well, I don't get a lot of those calls either. I don't think. I mean, I don't think people. I don't know.
Well, and part of it's because, and part of what we're talking about, body image. I'm fat and old now. I'm not the person they want around because their group doesn't look good because I'm fat and old.
I don't think that that's true. You're talking about people who are young. That all these people are so young. I mean, there's people that your age. What's the reason then? I mean, no, I don't think that that's. I wouldn't think that's the case.
I'm arrogant and bitchy. That might be it.
That could be more. That's more of a possibility, maybe than.
I don't know. I was just wondering what other and maybe people don't feel that there's a hole in their life there because of that, or maybe they do and they bury it and don't think about it and don't address it, or maybe I'm just thinking too deep into it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't ever really. I can't say that I ever feel lonely. I mean, I work and then I go home. I enjoy being alone, but then if I want to go out and be around people, then I go out. So
yeah,
I don't think that
I'm still someone who doesn't like to go out alone.
Oh, I have no problem.
And
with
so
that.
I know
I can go to dinner alone. I can go to a show alone. I can go to the theater. I can go to the movies. I could go anywhere alone. I'm my best company. I entertain myself.
Yeah, see, and I'm such a social person that I don't.
That makes it a little trickier.
Yeah, and and then I have one friend who's always calling me. Say, hey, what can we go do? And I'll make suggestions, but they won't do that because it doesn't happen at 5 p.m.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, well, at 5 p.m., I'm not looking to be out running around. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of men our age don't go out that late. Don't stay out very late.
Okay.
That kind of limits, socializing with them.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. So I think we're kind of rounding up this episode here. I'm going to have quite a bit of difficulty editing this and putting it together and making it flow. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So
we'll see you next week. You're going to put this out on Tuesday?
Yeah, it'll always come out on Tuesday at 5 a.m. That's what the algorithm tells me is the best time to release something.
And if you have any subjects that you want us to talk about,
yes, be sure
then send us a message. How do you do that?
You can actually respond, make a comment on the YouTube. In fact, we have gotten. I replied to some comments that were made on our YouTube channel today.
I didn't see them. What'd they say?
Well, I didn't write them down, but mostly it was people saying I really liked it.
I did see some that said they liked it, they enjoyed it. Yeah, I could see that. I didn't see anything negative.
No, I didn't see anything. I haven't seen anything negative. You can email us directly to the Golden Gaze Podcast at gmail.com. That's also our Facebook page is facebook.com, the Golden Gaze Podcast. Our YouTube channel is YouTube at the Golden Gaze Podcast. So everything is consistent. I tried the flip flop. No, what did you ask me about today? Not the TikTok. TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's good.
And so we do have a TikTok now. I don't know.
You set one up?
Yes.
Why'd you say it was a vertical thing? You mean you can't have a horizontal video?
Well, I was hoping it was a place where we could post the link to our YouTube. I couldn't figure that out. I'm still figuring that, but there is a TikTok page now for the Golden Gaze Podcast.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it is set up. it seems like they want me then to download my YouTube video and load it again, and then we're going to have time.
Probably.
We're going to have difficulty keeping track of this, and as far as keeping it all centered, I really do want all of the subscribers and the views.
You have to be on more than one if you want more subscribers. Last night on Shark Tank, there was a guy pitching something, and he was an influencer. He had 47 million followers.
Okay.
That's a lot of followers. That's a lot.
Yeah, at some point, what I can do is I can take, because by the time I edit it, then I have all this raw footage, but I could break out like little 1 minute snippets and drop those at Instagram and TikTok and do that. I'm not to that place yet. But we do have a TikTok set up. So at some point we could start doing that. But Facebook is the best way to contact us right now because I will continue to put onto our Facebook page, but you can send us comments directly to the YouTube video. You can respond to that, or just email us directly. And all of those things are listed in our YouTube channel and our Facebook, those email addresses and all of that. So you can click and do that. So thank you for watching.
See you next week.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.